What I would like to talk about is coming up last night as I was finishing up an article about the crown chakra. And I was pondering so many people focused on awakening their spiritual centers and what the result of this work is. And the question is not, can you open these centers and activate them? We were born to. These centers are valves that regulate the amount of spiritual awareness and energy that we can access in our physical vehicles at this time. And eventually we won't need them. They kind of slow the process down and make it manageable, if you will. So as we're evolving, at some point when everything's open, all those parts dissolve into a fluid form of consciousness. And we become one fluid field. But this is also a point at which we access, what you might say are superhuman abilities. So the question came in my mind as we are opening these centers. And so many are practicing yoga and meditation and wanting to kind of speed the process along and using various additional tools to open these vital centers. And it has come to my mind to speak this video about the emotional storehouse and patterning that we're holding on to, that many are still holding on to from early childhood, from past lives, and from generational stuff. So these are the pieces of the puzzle that I've been deeply focused on clearing for myself and others and integrating. It's a clearing first and it's an integrating next. And I'm contemplating how ready you are to experience the fullness of your spiritual capacity. How ready are we? Because once those channels are open and that energy starts coming through, it is really unstoppable. It is really huge and magnanimous and amazing, and we are born for it. And if we still have all these patterns and emotions and things in the way blocking, those things have a tendency to also be magnified, to also be kind of blown up, and wading through them becomes a thicker process. Even though it will also happen more quickly that you move through them, it can be an intensified space when all that cosmic energy is allowed to come through and shine through all the vital centers and project out all of the karmic debris and all of the patterns and emotions. So I'm bringing this up right now because right now there is so much cosmic energy, so much in the way of assisting us in helping open all these centers and blowing through so much energy. So what's happening right now is there's a great influx in people experiencing all their stuff, all their ancestral stuff, all their karmic stuff, all their emotional stuff. And at the same time, there is an influx on those who have done so much work suddenly stepping into great amounts of leadership, of their superpowers, a great amount of groundedness. The pillars of the temple, so to speak, are really anchoring in, because those who have done so much work and cleared all that garbage out are able to really fully embody their authentic self so much that sets a template for those who are coming through next. So those who are coming through next is kind of who I'm talking to and focusing on. And that the question is, are you ready to embody fully your spiritual gifts, fully your spiritual capacity? And what does that look like? And what does that require of you to release and let go of? And what it requires of you is to let go of certain languaging, certain stories, and certain projections, and to really look more deeply at the triggers that are coming in, because those are showing where there are blocks, where you need to focus attention, where the stories need to be looked at to be released. And it's a great honing time on those things. We're really getting those things magnified and amplified so that we can move through them, blow them up, and go to the next level. So the question about, are you ready? I'm visualizing the crown being placed on heads of many, the spiritual crown. If you're being crowned queen of your world right now, king of your world right now, because on one level you are being asked to receive your divine birthright. And if you have the crown placed on your head, if your crown is open, if you receive this, can you handle it? Can you step into the role that is required of one who is now king or queen of their king or queendom? And by that, we have to look at what is the responsibility. How does one stand in their birthright? This is not like a ego mind space. Concepts to be considered are humility coupled with confidence, a grace, groundedness, compassion, boundaries that are willing to be expanded, boundaries that are willing to be softened as we recognize that we're all in this together, that there is a oneness playing out. And then clarity, becoming clear on your divine mission, your dharma. What is your dharma? Right now you're embodying more and more and more and more and more who you truly are. Which you really already are that. It's just that all the things that have been keeping you from seeing that are being peeled off to reveal. And we kind of have to keep readjusting and recalibrating because we've been so used to it being a certain way that as those things come off, we have to recalibrate our languaging around the truth of who we are and speak from that place, which is not judgmental, which understands and sees that all things that you're observing, you contain in you also to some degree. And so to have compassion about that and allow yourself to begin to navigate reality from a new place of empowerment that is not high and mighty, that is not too low, too humble, so to speak, where you're not able to perform the task that is your natural ability and capacity. The throat chakras are really dilating, opening right now, allowing for this because it's really important that our languaging is dialed in. That's my focus right now when I hear others talking, when I'm talking to clients. My writing is to calibrate the languaging so that it supports empowerment, so it supports the birthright, so it supports the new world. So if that's something you feel you need to still work on, then contact me. These are exciting times. This is a powerful portal you just walked through, which basically just means we've just come through an alignment in the galaxy, which mirrors an inner alignment that's happening in our own brain hemispheres, our masculine, feminine coming into an inner marriage, an inner seeing of one another. And if you're still playing that dance within yourself where you're not fully accepting your masculine or your feminine aspects and you're still needing to do the integration dance, there may be some blocks or some languaging stuff there. So something to consider. Okay, thank you for listening. And here's to our embracing our fullest selves.